La da dun dun da dum. La da 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 dum dum. Diddly doo doo doo. Diddly doo doo doo. By the way, that's like a almost but not quite the Inspector Gadget song. Okay, anyway. Hi YouTube. Welcome on in, buddies. Welcome on in. We're playing Penelope, Pendrick and the Art of Deceit. This is day 2 of our playthrough. It's a blind playthrough, mostly because even if I wanted to watch someone else's playthrough, the game is pretty new. I will say though that yesterday after I ended stream, I did watch someone else play through basically the same amount of game that I had played through. And I was relieved to see that they were having the same kind of like, well, I'm not really sure what to do next, but I'll sleep on it and figure it out next time sort of scenario. So that was good. I mean, it made me feel a little bit more relieved, like, oh gosh, am I really this bad at these games? Because we have like that love-hate relationship with Nancy where sometimes the puzzles make me really irritated. But again, I say the puzzles make me irritated. That's not really what's happening. I am irritated with myself, and then I take it out on Nancy and the puzzles. I'm not the most mature of all of the people on planet Earth, okay? I admit it! Okay, let's get into our game. Let me make sure that this is on the right screen so I can see what the hell I'm doing. By the way, if you're joining me today, when I'm going live so early in the day, presumably you are at work, or perhaps you have the day off because of a holiday coming up. Hi, Unky Dank Beam, thank you so much for the lurk. I just wanted to thank you for lurking in my stream during either your important work hours or your even more important time off with family hours. Really appreciated. I realize that you might not, like, you might have me minimized on a different tab or something, and that's cool too. Okay, I named the last save Lost and Stuck because that's how I felt at the time. All right, here we are in our familiar hotel room. As you can see, I am no longer covering up the UI down here. If I look at my notes, we've got tons of them. But the main thing that I wanted to remind myself of, because like yesterday I was like, I'm so annoyed I can't solve all the puzzles in novel books. Therefore, this game is boring. And I was like, okay, self. Relax. Log out for the night. Think about other things. Do exactly what you always do when you're facing a problem at work. Stop trying to brute force it and walk away. Let your brain come up with creative solutions, whatever. Anyway, I did that, but like I said, I also watched someone else play, and I was like astonished when she was like, hey, maybe I should call the detective and bring him up to speed on what I've done so far. And I was like, yeah, what a great idea. Why didn't I think of that? Anyway, let's recap what we did yesterday. The room, number 101, that I'm camped out in while I'm here in Carlisle, certainly isn't something out of the Waldorf Astoria. Sorry, I just realized that I have loud volumes for the wrong things. I'm swapping what volumes are going to be my most prominent volumes in my ears. But I'll survive. If I had a mold allergy, it'd be another story. Nice to know I'll have 100 eyes watching me sleep every night. These eye patterns in my room are really strange. They're bolted to the wall, too. Okay, eye patterns on the wall and MC Escher. There's a phone number that I can call regarding MC Escher. Call the guy about MC Escher. The eye. Are they paintings? prints, whatever they are, on the wall. In room. Okay. See, now, that's another thing. I called him once and he didn't answer, and then I was like, ooh, well, I've exhausted that avenue. Come on, man. Okay. Apparently, to use the phone again, I'll need to find some kind of 4-digit code. Yet another quirk of this place, I guess. Wait, are they bolted to the wall or are they screwed to the wall? Like, if they're bolts, you need a wrench to remove them, but if they're screws, you can remove them with a screwdriver, and I have a screwdriver. Yet another quirk of this place, I guess. 3 people have gone missing, all in the same week here in Carlisle. It sounds like the county police chief thinks these disappearances are purely coincidence. It'll be my job to find proof otherwise. The 3rd floor of this apartment has seen better days. I hope the other stairways are a little more structurally sound. Well, my neighbor in room 102 is certainly a barrel of laughs. I wish my first encounter with her could also be the last, but I'll probably have to ask her a few questions about the disappearances at some point. As a local, there's a chance she could have some valuable info. The pin for the phone is 9, followed by my room number. Gerald Cook, an older man, went missing first. He didn't open his bookstore as usual, and his regulars found no sign of him anywhere. There was no evidence of forced entry in the store, and nothing was stolen or out of place. Those interviewed said that the previous day they saw him... The previous day they saw him was completely ordinary. Okay, yeah, sorry. I got my brain completely lost track of time. The only notable interviewee was Mitchell Hart, who had a spare key to the store. Sergeant Russell thinks I should focus on finding a way to get into the bookstore cash register. Whatever is or isn't inside could provide serious motive. High schooler Terrence Davies was the second person reported missing. His mother called the police that night after he didn't come home from school all day. He's had a troubled streak in the past, but his mother swears he'd never run away. He was last seen by teachers and classmates at school, and his friends mentioned that he said he was going hiking instead of home, which is the usual hobby for him. His mother's upset, but must know more than she feels like talking about right now. The mystery woman Jane, this one is the one I'm really interested in. The mystery woman Jane was the 3rd person to be called in missing. She frequented the Sunrise Diner, but hadn't shown up for 3 days. One of the waitresses made the call to the police that Jane was missing because of how unusual this behavior was for her. Jane normally spent her time at the diner reading intellectual books and taking notes. She rarely ever spoke, so none of the waitresses knew her name, let alone anything else about her. For this reason, there are no leads on her yet. But I will say, there being no leads on her is kind of a little bit false because the bookstore owner has gone missing. And a woman who spends most of her time reading intellectual books and taking notes is also missing. And so there is a connection between these two people, even if it's not direct and immediate. We called Eileen Davies. Eileen Davies, the mother of Terrence, mentioned that the day Terrence went missing was the day of a class field trip to an art gallery. At the very least, I have a bit more of Terrence's trail to follow. She's also adamant that Terrence is not lost in the woods, but with hiking as a hobby, we can't rule it out, no matter how much experience he has. Novel books looks like something straight out of the 1950s. Despite being empty, except for Gerald's assistant creeping in the corner, the place gives the feeling of being well loved and well taken care of. Mitchell Hart, who spent a lot of time at Novel Books, described the last day he saw Gerald as completely normal, and mentioned that Gerald wasn't acting unusually in any way. Oh yeah, and he has a prosthetic arm, but I can't really casually ask someone I just met about that in conversation. Can I? I didn't even remark on it because I don't know. To me it was like, okay, well yeah, the character seems to have a prosthetic arm, but I was like, well, if the game's not remarking about it, then it must not be remarkable. And I don't mean that. I guess what I mean is that I was like, oh, the game's just got differently abled people in it. That's cool. But yeah, I guess that if you're taking the time to code something like that and animate it, it's probably going to be important later. You know, it's like a Chekhov's prosthetic arm. Okay, according to a book on small towns of Connecticut, famous artist M.C. Escher stayed here briefly in 1962 when he fell ill on his trip to give a series of lectures in the U.S. Gerald has some vague notes stickied onto the pages. He seems pretty interested in the topic, enough to want to call a historian. Why? Gerald did Mitchell a favor by offering to take him on as a paid employee after Mitchell started losing hours at his main job. Is Mitchell having money problems now that Gerald is gone and the store is closed? Colin Ellison, owner of Bold Depictions Art Gallery, made a professional and helpful first impression. His second, third, and fourth impressions, however, left a lot to be desired. His brush with Terence on the day he vanished may have been a frustrating one, but Colin's reaction, or should I say overreaction, was so extreme I was taken completely by surprise. At least I learned a couple things from this encounter. One, Terence may have a worse attitude than I thought, and a proclivity for making enemies. Two, Colin is a borderline sociopath and my new number one suspect for Terence's case. True, that guy was, sir, children throwing drawings of tomatoes at you is, not ideal, but also you're an adult. You're the adult here. Get over it. It's not like they were throwing actual rotten tomatoes at you. Okay, so we have done the following. Explore my room, find the pin to reactivate my phone, explore the rest of the apartment building, explore room 203, visit novel books, give Eileen Davies a call, visit the art gallery, something about the bookstore. Oh, unstick the metal dial on the bookstore bookshelf. Explore novel books. We still need to open Gerald's cash register and keep an eye out for the police reports. Oh no, those came. We still have to open Gerald's cash register. And questions, I don't have any questions yet. But I was reminded yesterday when I was watching someone else's playthrough. They also didn't have any questions yet, but I was reminded that this is a tab that we need to look at. Sometimes you can't proceed the story if there's there's a question that you're meant to have an answer to. So I'm glad I was reminded of that in case I'm stuck and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so stuck. I don't know what to do. But the big reminder was maybe I should use the phone. So let's try this John Branham again. 339-555-0668.
You've reached the phone of John Branham. I'm currently occupied by something that has a slight possibility of being important. So please call again later or leave a message, and I will get back to you at the earliest convenience.
My thought about John Branham is that he is that self-deprecating humor, like the thing I'm doing might be important, is nice because it's not like I'm an important man, don't bother me. He's like, well, there's a slight possibility what I'm up to is important. Let's call Sergeant Russell. 555-7283.
Carlisle Police Department, Sergeant Russell speaking.
By the way, I love that there's voice acting. That it is delightful that there's voice acting. I absolutely love that it is also human actors and not AI generated voice acting. I guess you can't really call it voice acting if it's AI generated, right? Like, we need to be good about that. Sorry, something just popped up in another screen and I want to just take care of it real quick. I will be right back to you. I promise I'm not ignoring you. Okay. Sorry, false alarm. The thing I thought I saw, I didn't saw. Can you even imagine? Okay, let's get back into this. I went to Novel Books and met Mitchell Hart. I got to chat with Eileen Davies. See, I didn't call him at all to tell him about any of the stuff I've investigated. And like, if that's why I was like hung up on, I don't know what to do next, that's totally on me. And here I was, game, you're not giving me an Stop blaming the game for your own shortcomings, Mrs. Mars.
I went to Novel Books and met Mitchell Hart.
Great. What are your thoughts?
A quaint little store. Certainly doesn't look like a crime scene. As for Mitchell...
He seemed genuinely frustrated that he couldn't be more helpful to us. I feel like there must be more he's not disclosing to us. I don't know. I just wonder if there's more to him than meets the eye. Ooh. You know what? I don't think this is going to get back to Mitchell, and I feel like... Oh, but it's so tough, because what is my actual impression of him? He seemed like he was being helpful as much as possible, but also I feel like maybe he wasn't just like giving all the information he had.
I feel like there must be more he's not disclosing to us. I don't know. I just wonder if there's more to him than meets the eye.
Let me know if you find any solid context to back this up. But until then, I'm not ready to pass judgment based on a feeling.
Nor am I. I wasn't telling you that we should do anything. Okay, sorry. This is just because, like, you know, when you're trying to figure out what to say, you don't know yet what the reaction will be to what you say. And the fact of the matter is this, do I really want to already know what the reaction is going to be before I say it? Like, isn't part of the process of this that I explore options and that things do or don't go the way I intended? Just like real life conversations, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like when I have a conversation with my real life husband, he gets a script and I get a script. We both know what each other is going to react to anything we're about to say.
I got to chat with Eileen Davies. She was only willing to talk for so long, but I did learn that Terrence attended a field trip to an art gallery the day he went missing. She gave me the address, so I went to check it out, and...
Oh boy.
Did something happen?
I met the owner, Colin Ellison, and asked him about the field trip. According to him, Terrence was kind of a terror during the tour. Colin was generally spitting venom while he recounted what happened. And to put the cherry on top, he described seeing Terrence on the news later that day as cathartic.
That's concerning.
It really, really is.
The impression that Colin could be physically violent when angry? Or is he more bark and no bite?
I got the idea of bark and no bite. My impression was me, but not really anything. So we've got, I wouldn't be surprised if he would physically hurt someone who he thinks wronged him. He seems to hold a lot of hate over little things, or I don't know, he doesn't come across as the type to get his hands dirty.
I don't know. He doesn't come across as the type to get his hands dirty.
Either way, keep an eye on him and see if you can find out more.
Yes.
Thanks for talking.
Keep us updated.
Okay, so that's good because it gives us, at least it gives us some feedback on what we're thinking. Let's see if that updated anything in our notes, questions, or checklist. It really didn't. So it seems like the thing that I am most needing to do now is opening Gerald's cash register. So we have to go back to Novel Books and figure out how everything we have plays into getting into the cash register. Oops, that's the bathroom door. This is the front door here. Oh, wait, no, I did want to see if I could...
That doesn't work.
Okay.
That doesn't work.
Okay.
That doesn't work.
Okay, I at least tried. That was something I wanted to do. Okay, let's head out to Novel Books and we're going to look at the various puzzles that we have available to us again. So there's 2 puzzles that I have here that I know that I am aware of, and there might be more that I just breezed past without actually paying full attention to. So the first one is various of these puzzle pieces have letters on them. So there's an A over here. There is a D here and a D here. Okay. There's an E here. And is there a second E? Yeah, right here. There's an H right here. An L. Where's the L? I wrote down an L. Huh. I'm not seeing the L anymore. Did I make it up? Okay, I'm erasing this L. Oh, wait, no. Here's the L right here. There's an N right here. There are 3 O's. O, O, O. There's an R, S, T, U, and Y. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so there's 16 letters. I wrote them down in alphabetical order. First, I wrote them down going from left to right across the screen. Then I wrote them down in alphabetical order because I thought looking at them kind of like how I would arrange my letters on my Scrabble board. I even could separate them vowels from consonants, you know? So the thing about it is this. We definitely have the letters to write the word death. D-E-A-T-H. We have the letters to write the word dead, but we also have the letters to write the word deal. And if we write the word deal, then we do not have the letters left to write dead or death. You see what I'm getting at? Like, we don't know for sure. I mean, L-E-A-D-E-R could also be, like, leader could be the word that's using the letters that would have been used to write death or dead. So, I am putting a pin in solving this because, like, if I could manipulate the puzzle pieces around and then, like, oh, that's the right order, you know, like, that would be one thing. I did consider the possibility that I was meant to sort of use my, like, just be really good at visualization and, like, imagine these puzzle pieces in the right places. The problem is there's a corner here, and then this is a corner piece. This is a corner piece. This is a corner piece. And there's one more. Where is it? And this is a corner piece. And that gives you 5 corner pieces. And as you know, there are only 4 corners on a rectangle. Oh, here's another one. 6 corner pieces. So basically there's too many corner pieces for that to actually be what I was meant to be doing. I mean, you could also say, okay, well, maybe you're supposed to like this piece could connect to this piece. But, you know, so like O-L, if this is the bottom, you could connect it so that this O is there, and then this L piece could connect there. But then you start like, what comes next? O-L-S? Okay, so O-L-E-S? O-L-E-S? I don't, like, that's not really a word though, is it? Also, never mind, the E doesn't go there because it's not a bottom piece, nor is the S. So you can just only put O and L. Like, I could potentially connect the O to the L, but that's not really telling me anything. OL is not a word in and of itself. So you see what I'm getting at, where it's like, I don't know whether the backgrounds of these puzzle pieces are meant to be important or not important when trying to solve the puzzle, if you will. Anyway, so I've written down all those letters, but I don't know what to do with this. And so this is a puzzle that I think may not be, this is one of those puzzles that's going to have like a longer, a delay in being gratified with the solution for it. There is a chessboard here, which I can look at, but I cannot manipulate. And I'm not a real chess expert by any means, so I don't know, whether or not that's something important. There is so we cannot click in on the Hound of the Baskervilles poster, which leads me to believe that it's not going to be important in solving any puzzles. Okay, if I go here and then turn around, then I can click on this chair and I can see a note that says, Al, your move, signed to Jake. P.S. You forgot your glasses, and then here are Al's glasses. No idea how that's going to play out, but we at least are aware of it. Okay. The new arrivals. You can't click on any of these. Now, I will say that all of the books in here are like, I think that most of these books are public domain books. And that makes sense for a game of this nature. Oh, sorry about that. Okay. Sorry about that. I was going to say, I'm trying to see if I can turn around here, but it seems like no. Because I wanted to see if I could look at this map, but the map is not something you can look at. From over here, I've already taken the batteries out of this. So that's these batteries right here. And I think that's all we can look at over here. Over here, we have a receipt for a copy of Crime and Punishment. But I don't really, there's nothing that I can manipulate on this at all. So it's probably important, but I don't know how it's important immediately. The cash register, you cannot really manipulate. The only thing you can do is try to open it. I have a key that I got from inside of this building, but it doesn't work. Oh, wait, did it work? It didn't work the first time I tried it. I'm so glad I was just going through this with you guys. Because the first time I tried that key, I promise you that, well, I must have done it wrong. I must not have properly clicked on it or whatever. But yeah, it didn't work. Okay. So we have now determined that it's not a robbery. Okay, well that's so cool. Okay. So let's get into the cash register from our list of things. Okay, cool. Although that does mean that now I am at a loss for what to do next. Okay. That's so interesting. See, this is why you gotta try things more than once. Here's candy for 99 cents. Okay, I'm gonna just write this down. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red candies. Now, I know that a human being in real life wouldn't be able to rely on the number of candies in this box as some kind of code because people might buy them or move them around. But this isn't real life, so I'm going to go ahead and count them out. We've got 4 blue. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green. Here's the thing. At this point, we're grasping at straws because we don't know what the next puzzle that we can solve is. And so rather than gloss by things and ignore them, I'm going to just make notes of different things that may or may not pay off later. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 orange. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 yellow. And just to be sure, that's red, green, orange, and blue and yellow, right? Yeah, okay. So again, this could be completely meaningless, but if it lets you zoom in on it, it might be worth making a note of it. Then we have all of these postcards, which I kind of rushed through yesterday. So we have Ciudad Juarez in Old Mexico. And I don't know if anything on this is going to be important. Mm. 6A H2451 Ciudad Juarez, Old Mexico. Who knows what's important on this? You know what I'm saying? Okay. The next one is Pueblo, Colorado. I'm writing the little serial number that's down in the corner here. H736 Pueblo, Colorado. Okay. We've got Vermont. Greetings from the entire state of Vermont. Okay, then we've got Alabama. This one's different. It doesn't have the little number at the top. Like the other ones had like a 95. And this one doesn't have H something. And it doesn't have the same like copyright as the other ones. So that's interesting. Or it could be completely meaningless. Like we don't know. Ooh, but there's a plant on this one that we could look up in the plant book. Did the other ones have plants? No plant here. This one has like the trees, but there's no really flowering plants. This one has no flowering plants. Okay. Let's see if this plant is in that book. It's right here. It's not either of these. It's not either of these. It's not either of these. And it's not like this is white. I know that yarrow can grow in other colors, but like it doesn't have the same shape though. Like even this was the only one that had several smaller flowers. You know what I mean? But even then it's not a good match. So, but that was at least worth looking at. Again, because previously I was rushing through. Yeah, that's not the same kind of plant at all. Okay, then there's these other ones. So there's Albany, New York. This one has a handwritten number on it, which is interesting. 72600. There's also a 3. Albany, New York. Again, this could all just be nothing, right? Like, this could just be set dressing, which is fine if it is, but I'm interested in making sure that I make note of the different things so that if there is any kind of connection to our case, we have it noted down. H1147, Reno, Nevada. And finally, this one has an N237 and then 44661, and it's Virginia. Okay, so we made notes of those things. Okay. The other thing was that there were a bunch of books that had passages kind of circled, but it was just like letters circled. So I previously noted down the specific letters, but I don't think I really made notes of like what the book was or who the author was. So this one is Charles Darwin. And it's On the Origin of the Species. Sorry, On the Origin of Species. My apologies, I added a "the" in there. And then we're looking at chapter 10. Oops. Okay. Page 79 is an O. And then page 80 is an X. And then if I turn the page, there's nothing here. And might we need to come back and read all of this? Perhaps, but for now, let's see if this gives us a sufficient amount of information. Then there's books both at the top and the bottom. So this is the complete poems, Tales and Poems of Edgar Allan Poe. So, Edgar Allan Poe. Complete Tales and Poems. Okay. In this one, page 23, so The Raven, page 23, and it's the letter B. I'm realizing I should draw a little square around the letters in my notes so that it's obvious what we're looking at here. Okay. All right, then we can kind of head further into the bookstore and do the same thing on the other shelves. So we'll start with this shelf here. Okay, we'll start up here. And we've got Jane Eyre. Okay. Chapter 8. Oh, sorry. Chapter 7. I don't know why I said 8. Page 56. And it's the letter I. Okay. Alrighty. And then is there anything else of note here? No. So we can scoot on over to the adjoining shelf and look to see if there's any books here. Here we have the Divine Comedy. Okay. Okay, so it's Canto 26. And then we have page 125. And the letter N is one of the circled letters, and the letter R is another circled letter. Okay. Yeah, and I already had checked if subsequent pages also had writing on them. They don't. Okay. So, this bookshelf has been looked at. Now we can start at this corner of this bookshelf and do the same. Okay, so this is the Encyclopedia of Gardening. No letters are circled in this. I think that what's important on this is the zone chart, but I don't think that's relevant to the puzzle we're currently doing. So we're just going to keep on going here. This is where we found this is where the key to the cash register was. Okay, so this is Don Quixote. Okay. Chapter 7. Page 77. And we have O and M. Okay. This is A Tale of Two Cities. Okay. It says on here number 6. Okay. Then we are in chapter 5, page 40, and we have the letter W. Okay. 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 The Complete Guide to Shoemaking. I think this is another one that doesn't have any letters circled, but we have a measuring tape here. So my assumption is that at some point we're going to find a footprint somewhere, and we'll be measuring the footprint, and then we'll be able to use this book to determine what size of shoe that person wore. Like the person who made this footprint. Okay. And then we can go to this final bookshelf. I believe this is the final one. And the book here is Small Towns of Connecticut. This is the book with the information about MC Escher. So I'm going to read this out loud. Carlisle. The small coastal town we know today as Carlisle was originally home to a small community of Puritans who had fled the Massachusetts Bay Colony in pursuit of religious reformation in the early 1600s. Gradually, over the course of the next 200 or so years, this puritanical settlement developed into a conglomeration of smaller townships and self-governed outposts. In the early 1800s, social and legal reforms were beginning to change the landscape of the nation. The town of Carlisle was officially founded in 1848 by namesake Mayor Jonathan Carlisle in conjunction with state officials by combining those once desperate townships into one. I still think that this is meant to say disparate, as in like a synonym for separate, not a synonym for, desperation. You know what I mean? Today, Carlisle is best known for its annual Strawberry Festival. The festival has been a summer treat for residents and visitors alike since the year 1930, when the Great Depression devastated the country. The town of Carlisle hoped to raise its citizens' morale through the amusement and sense of community that the Strawberry Festival offered. Carlisle's lesser-known claim to fame, however, came in the form of a distinguished guest. A few years before his death in 1972, the prolific Dutch artist Moritz Cornelius Escher visited its shores. Using nature and mathematical principles as inspiration, M.C. Escher's works explored the concepts of tessellations, impossible objects, reflection, symmetry, and perspective. Although Escher only achieved fame after his 70th birthday, his artistic works have contributed to advancements in not only art, but also mathematics and engineering. His pieces were often cited in technical papers and studies. During the course of his life, Escher made over 2,000 drawings and sketches and an amazing 440 lithographs and woodcuts. Yeah, I think that the things in our bedroom, the eye things that are on the walls in our bedroom are wood cuttings. Although he was most well known for these prints and drawings, Escher also designed tapestries and postage stamps, illustrated books, and painted large-scale murals. In 1962, Escher had traveled overseas to deliver a planned series of lectures in the U.S., but due to unexpected complications caused by his failing health, he was forced to remain in the area longer than intended before being able to safely return home. According to sources at the time, a local Dutch-speaking family generously offered their home to Escher during these difficult few months. According to sources at the time, a local Dutch-speaking family generously offered their home to Escher during these difficult few months, understandably spent out of the public eye. Regardless, his time spent in Carlisle remains a unique part of its history. For more information on the town of Carlisle and its history, contact John Branham at, and then we have the phone number. So here's a note. This is a note that it looks like Gerald left in the book saying find the link. So he's looking for some kind of a link between MC Escher and something. Then there's like who are the sources? Who's the Dutch speaking family? So there's like kind of like this question mark here. And then he made himself a note to call this guy. So we would also like to call this guy, I think. And so we'll put that book back on the shelf and just make sure that there's no other books on the shelf here or here that we can look at to grab letters out of. And there are not. So the letters we grabbed are OXB INROMW, and I do not know if there's any like clues in the titles of the books, the chapters, the page numbers of what letter goes in what order. So I've at least written them all down though with more copious notes than just when I had only the letters written down. But again, I do not have an immediate, like, oh, I know what this puzzle is about. So that is a bit frustrating. Can we talk to this guy again?
Everything okay? You look a little grim.
Did you notice that Gerald's coat is still here? I took a look inside the cash register. Whatever happened to Gerald didn't involve a robbery.
Did you notice that Gerald's coat is still here?
Sure. But it's been unseasonably warm. Not really coat weather.
Well, it's not the coat I'm worried about. It's that his wallet is still in the pocket, with money and his driver's license.
Oh.
Okay, and we took a look inside the cash register. Whatever happened to Gerald didn't involve a robbery.
Look
Excuse me.
inside the cash register. Whatever happened to Gerald didn't involve a robbery.
Are you saying that someone out there targeted Gerald because of some personal vendetta? That's insane. That'd be like going after Santa Claus.
We don't know that at all. We've only just ruled out one possibility.
Well, this isn't great news.
I'm sorry. Try and stay positive, okay? There's still so much we don't know. There could still be a perfectly innocent explanation to all this.
Okay. I would love to know what is the thing that's right behind his arm that's like a folded little folio. But we can't interact with it. Like when we're talking to him, we can't interact to click. And when we're not talking to him, it's not visible. So just as a refresher, Gerald's coat has his wallet with some money, a note that says, "We love you, Grandpa," and has two pictures of his grandchildren, obviously. Then we have Zentner Chiropractic, 305 North Bayville Avenue, Salisbury, Connecticut, and the number is 555 back. I guess we could write that down and potentially call them. Zentner, although she didn't add it to her list of people to call, so it's possible we can't call it, but I mean, we can give it a try, right? Okay. And then there's this Espresso Express, 555 Bean. But she didn't think it was noteworthy enough to add the phone number or address to the places we can call or visit. And then this was the little clue that helped us get the key to the register. Okay. All right. So let's call the detective to tell him that it wasn't a robbery. There's another eye motif over here. These missing posters are on the wall now. They weren't there when we the first time we left and came back. Okay. All right, what are we going to do? We're going to call 555 7283 and talk to the detective.
Carlisle Police Department, Sergeant Russell speaking.
I opened the novel book's cash register. It was still full. And to top it off, Gerald's coat and wallet are still in the store.
What? Oh, Vasquez! You need your eyes checked. Allow me to assign you to interviews next time. Good work. Whatever happened to Gerald was not premeditated on his end. It's a start.
Thanks for talking.
Keep us updated.
Okay, so initially I was like, this guy's like over the top acting is like way over the top, but I have come to find it much more charming. Like I said, when I was talking about that yesterday, having worked on like, not even indie film sets, like amateur film sets, when people are just starting out and they're not super used to being a director, it can be really hard to provide direction to your actors. Like you feel like, oh, I don't want to be too critical of them or whatever, right? So we would have, I wasn't a director. I usually did like sort of like, not even like, not, I don't even know why I'm struggling with words here. Like, let's say that it was a really small, really amateur, really indie set. And we were filming some kind of like little, a little short that someone had written, right? So the person who wrote it would often be the director. They had an idea of how the thing would go, but like they are not an actor themselves. And they have a hard time communicating to their actors the level of intensity of any given emotion that they want to see. And oftentimes will defer to what the actor does, or they're like, this guy's really mad, so I want you to sound really mad. So the guy sounds really mad, but it's like, oh, a simmering intensity might have been a better fit for this scene type of thing. But it's like, that's stuff you learn as you go forward. So it's like, it's very much, it's very much, like a thing that happens a lot when in early days when people are practicing or learning their craft. I think also, especially in a case like this, it's very likely that what happened was that the person was sent their script and they read their lines, and they maybe did like 3 or 4 different deliveries of each line to give the person putting it together options, and then they were picking the best of the options without it being like a back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, because at a certain point in time you have to kind of be like, okay, well, we want to get this game out into the world. Anyway, point being, there are times where the voice acting is a little over the top, but I think that there's a lot of reasons that go into why that's happening, but it's part of the charm. Okay, I would like to see if I can call this guy now, if he's available now. I should try calling him at different times of day.
Reached the phone of John Branham. I'm currently occupied by something that has a slight possibility of being important. So please call again later or leave a message, and I will get back to you at the earliest convenience.
Okay, that's a bummer. So do we want to... Oh, I don't even have... I'd have to look at my phone to figure out what letters go on what keys. So it's not in game, but do I want to try calling these other numbers? 5 5 5 5 back. Okay, so hang on. Let me just pull up my phone here. Okay, so that's BACK.
Zetner Chiropractic, the crack that smiles back. Our hours are 9 to 5, Monday through Saturday. Please visit our website to schedule an appointment or use the patient portal for billing and messaging. Thank you.
The back cracking in the background was hilarious. What? That's brilliant. Okay, let's call the espresso place now. 5 5 5 BEAN.
Thank you for calling Espresso Express. Stop in for an espresso, macchiato, cappuccino, maraschino, doppio, lungo, ristretto, corretto, Contana, Romano, Americano, Latte, Mocha, featuring Breve, Vienna, Latte Macchiato, Glace, Freddo, Frappe, Cappuccino Freddo, Espresso Latino, Caramel Frappe, or Irish Coffee. For the complete menu, please visit our website, espressoexpresscarlisle.com. To schedule a birthday party, please stay on the line.
Okay, that was cute too. I like that was a really nice touch that I found those phone numbers, and when I called them something did happen. I really like that. That is some extra work that was put into it that is very much appreciated. Okay, but they didn't yield us anything of value. So, I mean, the value was that it was cute and entertaining. Sorry, I don't want to sound like I don't think it was valuable. Okay, what I do want to do is figure out what this shopping list might have to do with anything. I can't tell if the numbers for 8, 30, 2, 3, 5, the written out numbers are important. If these numbers are important. I mean, you know what? I'm not sure what about this is important. The fact that Apple 0 just, makes this not seem like a grocery list anymore. So what are the... what is important about this? What is the deal with this list? I wonder if we should try going to the gallery again, since that's the only other place we have unlocked right now. and if that's going to help us with anything at all. So gallery hours are Monday through Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. It is currently, it's way after 6 p.m. Yeah. Okay. Like, if we could use this list, you know what I mean? If it was like, that's the code to get in is 8235 or whatever, you know? Is there anything else we can interact with over here at all? Okay, no, this is just so that we can look at the gallery hours, it looks like. We can't go around or anywhere. Okay. So this is kind of where I'm feeling like, okay, we're stuck, but are we stuck? What have I missed? I guess the only other thing we can do is talk to the neighbor that we talked to the first day, the one who gave us the PIN number.
It would be rude to knock now.
Oh, it's too late to knock. Okay.
It would be rude to knock now.
Let's go to sleep and then we'll try knocking in the morning and also going to the art gallery in the morning. Okay. So I would like to set the alarm for 7 a.m. We'll try calling that guy. We'll try knocking on the neighbor's door. And we'll try, at 10 a.m. we'll try going to the gallery a second time. Okay, let's see if this gives us anything of value. Okay. So step 1, is it too early to call that guy? 3, 3, 9, 5, 5, 5, 0, 6, 6, 8.
You've reached the phone of John Branham.
Okay,
I'm
poop.
Currently occupied by something that has a slight possibility of being important. So please call again later or leave a message, and I will get back to you at the earliest convenience.
Okay, do we want to see if Eileen might be willing to talk more now?
Hello?
Hi, Mrs. Davies. It's Penelope again. How are you holding up?
As well as can be expected.
I was wondering, did you receive any phone calls from Terrence's school the day of the field trip? Before it was clear that he was missing.
No, but I would have been at work until 5, so it's possible I missed it. Why?
I had a chance to talk to the owner of the art gallery, the one who gave the tour, and...
There had been an incident. Terrence was pretty ill-behaved and ruined the trip for the class. I'm going to say there had been an incident.
There'd been an... incident.
Oh, really? What happened?
Long story short, Terrence was playing the peanut gallery during the tour. Having his art mocked kind of rubbed the owner, Colin Ellison, the wrong way.
That's not an incident. Just a teenager being a teenager.
Well, the phrasing isn't important. I just felt the obligation to let you know that Mr. Ellison does not have a kind opinion of your son.
He was that angry about Terrence.
Between that and the coincidental timing, I think we may have our first suspect.
Well, thank you for letting me know. I can't say it's consoling, but it's something.
Okay, Eileen. Thank you for your time. I'll call you if we find out anything new.
Okay.
I don't know that I benefited in any way from giving her that information. And I don't know that she benefited in any way from receiving that information. In the sense that it's not an answer to the question, what has happened to my son? It's just saying, hey, some guy didn't like your son. And I don't know that that's really super helpful to... I mean, I didn't gain any information from her as a result. She didn't reveal something new that I didn't know. And I don't know how that's going to help her. I'm not saying that I think that shouldn't be part of the game. I'm just saying, like, I'm reflecting on what transpired on that conversation. Okay. Let me try ordering pizza just because I can and I haven't yet. In case that does anything for me.
Pablo's Pizza. We put the E's in cheese. How may I take your order?
Can I get a large pepperoni pizza?
1 large pepperoni pizza, please.
Got it. 1 large pepperoni pizza. Will there be anything else?
Nope, that's all.
Pickup or delivery?
Delivery. The address is 10 Ramridge Road, Carlisle, Connecticut, 06501, room 101.
Oh, you must be Miss Pendrick. I have a note in the system here that says your tab is being covered by someone named Wesley Russell.
Ooh,
oh, that's interesting.
Awesome.
Now's your chance to go crazy. Order 10 pizzas. Order the Super Duper Slurp. Order the 50-count chicken wings. We have a meatless option if that's your thing.
50-count chicken wings! Is that a reference to the treasure in the Royal Tower? It sure sounds like it. I don't think Sergeant Russell would appreciate that. I know you're just trying to get a raise, but I'm not that hungry.
I know you're just trying to get a raise, but I'm really not that hungry.
Yeah, you gotta shoot your shot. Alright, your order will be delivered in approximately 30 minutes.
Great, thanks.
Stay saucy.
Yeah, the chicken wings things really does sound like a reference to Treasure in the Royal Tower. Where that author lady was wanting chicken wings and you had to order her, like, I think it was 50. It was a lot of chicken wings anyway. So my thought is that perhaps I can use pizza to bribe my neighbor. Should I stay in my room till I get the pizza, or when will the pizza be delivered? Half an hour? He said maybe I should wait here for 3 minutes. 3 real life minutes is a half an hour in game. I wonder if we could, does time still pass while you're looking at things? No, it doesn't. I was like, maybe we can kill that time while seeing if we can find anything interesting in here, but no. I also was like, is it like possibly that this forms words? OPEPC? Nope. We are going to have to like remove rust from something at some point too. We have instructions for how to remove rust from something. We found them in the apartment upstairs. We might need to boil something or heat something up at some point because we have the ability to turn on the stovetop. I was worried that this piece of plaster would fall on us in our sleep at some point. So far has not happened, so that's good. Okay, so we've got a set of batteries. Oh, that's interesting. Pile alkaline, that's in French. Mise en garde, ne pas installer de manière inappropriée, ni recharger, jeter au feu. La pile peut exploser ou couler. Caution, do not connect improperly, charge or dispose of in fire. Battery may explode or leak. Ooh, I wonder if we're meant to get the acid for that process of removing rust by putting the batteries in here and heating them up. And then the battery acid will leak out, and then we'll use that acid to do the process. I wonder if that's... Also, I want to know why we can't talk to Alan Rickeys. He's who reported Gerald Cook missing. It wasn't the guy in the store who reported him missing. It was a different guy. Probably the guy who left his glasses there. The guy who was playing chess with Jake. Anyway, I just think that's a little bit interesting. We can't go to his mom's house and talk to her in person at this point. We could, potentially we can later, but we can't right now. So, there's that. Where's this pizza? Is it coming or no? I'm waiting for someone to go duck, duck, duck on the door. Duck, 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 duck. While I'm waiting, I'm just going to double check this text. My nephew texted me something earlier today. That was the text that I was replying to earlier, and I just want to double check that all is well. All right, I feel like it's been more than half an hour, but maybe I'm just too impatient. What time is it? It's not even close to 8 yet. Did he say when he would be delivering the pizza? Now I'm feeling doubtful. So our only new note is the bookstore cash register is still overflowing, untouched. Most notably, wherever Gerald went was without his wallet. This is a very important find to prove that Gerald's disappearance was not voluntary. And no new checklist items and no questions. Okay. I don't want to knock on my neighbor's door at 7 a.m., you know? I'm also not sure. Ah, the pizza must be here.
Order. Have a good one.
Thanks. You too.
Yay. Okay. So there you go. We got pizza. Okay.
No way.
No, I wasn't wanting to eat more of it. I was trying to leave. Okay, so is the pizza just sitting on the floor? Okay. I guess we can try knocking on the neighbor's door. It's so early though.
It'd be rude to knock now.
Okay, so no, we can't. What if we went back to our room and like let an hour pass or two? Like let's make it 10 a.m. Okay. We're just having a little nap. Okay. Let's go knock on the neighbor's door now. Actually, let's try calling that guy now. Like first thing at 10 a.m. In case we can call him at 10 a.m. 339-555-0668.
You've reached the phone of John Branham.
Okay, so it must be that we need to... Something has to trigger us being able to call him, and it is not time of day. I don't think it's time of day. And we're not leaving him a message at all, so I feel like we just don't have that ability. Let's go talk to the neighbor. And apparently we aren't going to bribe her with pizza. Bummer. I was hoping. Okay, she really doesn't want to talk to us anymore. Can you break into her house? I didn't think so. Okay. We've exhausted that. Let's go back to the gallery then.
I don't want to go back in there right now.
Oh, okay. All right, then we actually have exhausted everything that I can think of to do. Okay. Yep. Oh, wait, what's going on up here? Okay. Okay, we did that already. Okay, that doesn't help us. This is the thing about removing rust that I was telling you about. I don't think there's anything else we are able to do in here. Okay, so we have exhausted everything that I can think of to do. Which means, that's it. So this is, okay, so this is where I am going to say that things become problematic for me because I've done all the things that I can think of to do. Let's try calling the Sergeant Russell again, just in case.
I don't need to talk to him right now.
Okay, right. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do with the batteries. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with the grocery list. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with a screwdriver. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this tape measure. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with the remote control. I can't knock on the neighbor's door. I can't go to the I can't go to the gallery. I don't know the solution to any of the potential clues that I have found at the bookstore. There is no hint in my notes. Or there's nothing on my checklist that I haven't done yet. There's no questions in the questions section here. I suppose that we can just try calling that guy every hour on the hour and see if he ever answers.
You've reached the phone of John Branham. I'm currently occupied by something that has a slight possibility of being important. So please call again later or leave a message, and I will get back to you at the earliest convenience.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a Discord where you can go to find hints. Which I'm not doing. I'm not going to the Discord to find hints. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end here. And then hopefully somebody uploads something to YouTube of part of their playthrough, and I can watch what they did next when they got to this point, and then use that to figure out what I should do next. Because in my opinion, if I need to go to your Discord to find out what to do next in your game, like if it's not something that a person could reasonably figure out on their own inside the game environment, then I don't think that I should need to go to your Discord to find out what to do next in your game. Like, so I'm obviously missing whatever it is, but I would like to see somebody else sussed it out on their own and then go, oh, okay, I had never thought of doing that. Versus going to a Discord and then reading an answer, which I don't want to do, right? Like, I don't want to go to a Discord and read someone saying, oh, this is what you should do next that you didn't do. I know, I don't know, is there any real fundamental difference between those two things? Probably not. Just one of them seems less like, oh, you know, the gameplay itself revealed this, and more like, well, we couldn't figure it out on our own, so we had to ask for the answer from the person who made the game, or, you know, whatever. Why can't I? Okay. I would like to look at my suitcase. Why am I not allowed to do that? Thank you. So, does this give me anything or do anything for me at all whatsoever? I think also that part of my problem is that these word, if these are word puzzles, trying to figure them out on stream is not really going to be interesting for anyone who isn't me, because you can't see my notepad. And so if I'm like writing a bunch of different words to see if any of them are useful, you won't be able to see the words I'm writing or the letters that are left over or anything like that. So I feel like that's not really fun for anybody. You know what I mean? Like, there's no entertainment value in that, because you can't follow along as I go, oh, maybe it's this word, you know? Yeah. So I do not know what to do next. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what to do next. So I'm going to end it here. And we'll be back persevering and desperately. Look, here's the thing. We're not giving up. We are going to persevere. But at this point in time, I don't know what to do next, and I feel like sitting here telling you over and over again how much I don't know what to do next is not really being very helpful. So we will be back. Either I will have some kind of epiphany and I will come back and try that, or, like I said, I will look on YouTube or on Twitch to see if anybody else is playing this game, see what they're doing. Obviously, I don't want to find somebody who's way further along in the game than I am, so it is going to be a little bit tricky to find somebody who like either find a VOD or something of someone who's like at this stage of the game and see what they did. Yeah, but that's okay. We'll figure this out. So we are going to save the game. We're still lost and stuck, but now it's Lost and Stuck Part 2. And then let's see if there's anybody that we can go raid out to, because who knows, maybe somebody is playing this as we speak. You don't know. Anyway, everybody over on YouTube, thanks so much for joining. We will be back. We're going to keep on trying with this game. Don't worry. We will figure it out. Bye.